Ants are some of the most hardworking creatures on the planet. They are able to lift objects many times their own body weight and can work together to build their homes and raise their young. Ants are also able to communicate with each other to share information about food sources and danger. While they may be small, ants are a fascinating species that are worth learning more about. In this video, we'll take a close look at ants and their incredible abilities. Let's go.
Number 1. Poison dart frogs are actually harmless when kept in captivity. In the wild, they only develop poison because they eat mostly ants, and the ants themselves ingest different varieties of poisonous plants. Number 2. Ant queens can take over other colonies by murdering their real queen and bathing in her bodily fluids to avoid detection. Since ants can only parasitize other specific species, it is speculated that some ants decorate their homes with the heads of other ant species to mask their own scent.
Number 3. Between 63rd and 76th Streets in New York City, scientists discovered an ant species found nowhere else on Earth. It has been nicknamed the Manhattan.
Number 4. In the 5th century BC, diabetes was first identified by a surgeon named Sushruta who pointed out that the urine of diabetics was sweet enough to attract ants and sticky to the touch. He noted that diabetes affected rich castes and was related to the excessive consumption of rice and sweets.
Number 5. Scientists attached stilts to the legs of ants to prove that ants return to their nests by counting their steps. The ants with stilts overshot their nest by roughly 50% due to the new length of their steps.
Number 6. Joan Murray, who survived an 80 miles per hour skydiving fall, thanks to landing on a mound of fire ants, whose bites are believed to have given her a rush of adrenaline which kept her heart beating.
Number 7. Ravens can speak better than parrots, enjoy playing in the snow, make their own toys, and do weird things with ants.
Number 8. Army ants can accidentally misinterpret the chemical trails left by other ants and start walking in circles. If too many members of the colony join in, it can kill the whole colony in what is sometimes known as the death spiral, or ant milling.
Number 9. In 1879 it was estimated the Oxford English Dictionary to take 10 years for completion, but in 5 years they'd only reached the word ant. After crowdsourcing readers to help, it was completed 44 years later. The publishers now estimate it would take a single person 120 years to just type it.
Number 10. Joan Murray survived a 14,500 feet fall when her main parachute failed while skydiving. She landed in a fire ant mound. Numerous venomous stings caused an adrenaline rush to keep her heart beating long enough for doctors to assist.
Number 11. Ravens, bees, ants and humans are the only animals capable of linguistic displacement, the ability to communicate about objects or events that are distant in space or time. Number 12. Scientists attached stilts to the legs of ants to prove that they return to their nests by counting their steps. The regular ants walked right to the nest and went inside. The ants on stilts walked right past the nest and got lost. This was because of the change in length of the legs.
Number 13. Some spiders disguise themselves as ants by pretending their 2 front legs are antennae. More than 300 species of spiders are known to mimic the outward appearance of ants, a phenomenon called myrmecomorphy. Number 14. Ants sleep by taking about 251-minute naps throughout their day. It totals just under 5 hours of sleep. This allows for 80% of their colony to be awake, working and prepared at any given moment.
Number 15. Once a year in parts of England flying ants migrate. Seagulls catch and eat them and then become drunk off the ants' formic acid, causing them to crash into buildings and moving cars.
Number 16. Ants can accidentally misinterpret the chemical trails left by other ants and start walking in circles. If too many members of the colony join in, it can kill the whole colony in what is sometimes known as the death spiral.
Number 17. Scientists attached stilts to the legs of ants to prove that they return to their nests by counting their steps. The ants with stilts overshot their nest by roughly 50% due to the new length of their steps. Number 18. 4 times as many people are killed by ants every year than are killed by sharks.
Number 19. Squirrels don't take fall damage because their terminal velocity is too low for it to do any damage on impact. It's the same with ants. Number 20. The world's foremost expert on ants chose to study ants because when he begun his entomology career in 1947, insect pins were hard to come by due to World War II metal shortages. Unlike other insects, ants are stored in vials, not pinned.
Number 21. Giant anteaters do not produce any stomach acid. Instead, the combined sting venom, formic acid, found in all of the ants it eats is used to digest the prey once it is ground up and swallowed. The ants are digested in their own venom.
Number 22. In 2009, scientists discovered that a single ant megacolony had colonized much of the world on a scale rivaled only by human civilization, including one supercolony spanning 3,700 miles along the Mediterranean coast. Number 23. The common black garden ant queen has an average lifespan of 15 years, with some living up to around 30. And while under laboratory conditions, workers can live at least 4 years. Watch your step.
Number 24. A colony of ants with no queen, no males and no offspring, comprised entirely of non-reproductive females, that live in a disused nuclear bunker in Poland. The colony is supplemented by ants falling through holes in the ventilation which cannot escape. Number 25. Ants cannot be seriously injured from impact with the ground after being dropped from any height, because they don't have enough mass.
Number 26. Scientists discovered a cannibalistic ant colony composed entirely of worker ants in an abandoned Soviet bunker in Poland. They had fallen down ventilation pipes leading into the bunker and reverted to cannibalism to survive. The scientists built a bridge that allowed most of them to escape.
Number 27. Wood ants practice chemistry, and will synthesize an antibiotic substance using tree resin and formic acid to protect the health of their colony. It is considered to be the most advanced act of evolutionary pharmacology seen in the animal kingdom.
Number 28. There's a species of ants that abducts larvae of other colonies to use them as slaves. Their own workers do nothing but these raids. Number 29. Ants do not have traffic jams because they don't have egos, don't mind collisions, and are very disciplined in crowded pathways. Number 30. Hero ants. These ants live in cliffs, high places and latch onto intruders of the colony. They then fling themselves off the cliff, taking the intruder with them.
Number 31. Worker ants take hundreds of 1 to 2 minute naps per day, so that they can essentially work around the clock.
Number 32. The static on TV is referred to as hangyafoci by Hungarians, which translates to ant soccer.
Number 33. Ants make up 15% of all terrestrial animal biomass, and there are 10,000 trillion ants on the planet.
Number 34. Over 200 bird species including the northern cardinals, wild turkeys and Baltimore orioles use a method of pest control called anting. They take an ant in their beak and wipe their tail feathers in order to deter lice. The ants release formic acid that the birds utilize routinely.
Number 35. There are insects called velvet ants that are actually wingless wasps.
Number 36. Some species of carpenter ants can explode at will. As a last resort, they contract their abs to rupture their internal glands, resulting in a suicidal burst of corrosive, immobilizing glue.
Number 37. If you ever got shrunk down to the size of an ant, not only would everything look bigger to you, but the world would also appear almost 1,000,000 times darker. Light would no longer appear straight, meaning that the world around you would be covered in a haze of blurriness and shadow.
Number 38. An antmill is an observed phenomenon in which a group of army ants, which are blind, are separated from the main foraging party, lose the pheromone track and begin to follow one another, forming a continuously rotating circle. The ants will eventually die of exhaustion.
Number 39. 5 years into their 10-year plan, editors of the original Oxford English Dictionary had only reached the word ant.